The ban on the Great Orchestra of Christmas Charity. A 5-minute or less story. The Great Orchestra of Christmas Charity is the largest non-governmental, non-profit charity organization in Poland. The charity, which is called by the Poles an orchestra, was founded in 1991 by Jurek Owsiak just a year after Poland's transformation from communism, and it has always had the support of the Polish people and government. Sadly, in 2016, everything changed. The orchestra is a phenomenon, uniting millions of Poles around the world on the second Sunday of each January, who volunteer and organize various shows and spectacles on the streets of Poland, helping raise money in support of purchasing medical equipment for hospitals and hospices. Until 2016, soldiers, police officers and firefighters would work with thousands of volunteers on the finale day, teaching people how to do CPR or showing military and rescue equipment and raising funds for the charity. In 2015, the Law and Justice Party won the election in Poland. The following year, they quickly took over the state-run media and dismantled the judiciary system, trying to gain control of all aspects of the Poles' lives. The Great Orchestra of Christmas Charity has been a thorn in the new government's side, as it unites Poles, and the ruling government cannot control that. That same year, the government sent out information to all its services, informing them that they will be fired if they participate in the orchestra's finale the upcoming January. State-run media blocked any information about the orchestra, even to such detail as to Photoshop out a logo of the orchestra on an opposition member of parliament's jacket, during an interview with him. On January 10, 2019, just a few days ahead of the 27 finale, the state-run TV, headed by a former politician of the ruling Law and Justice Party, ran a primetime sketch portraying the founder of the orchestra and an opposition leader as Jews hoarding all the money from the charity. In reality, the orchestra's running cost is only 3.4%, with the remaining 96.6% of donations going towards equipment so badly needed by hospitals and hospices. Even though you can no longer find military or rescue equipment during the finale, and you cannot learn how to do CPR, nor can you learn from state-run media anything on the results of the charity finale, the servicemen of the army, police, rescue and firefighting services are still helping out as much as they can, as civilians, after hours. During the first finale in 1991, the charity managed to raise over 2.5 million Polish zloty, and that has grown steadily until 2015, when the orchestra raised over 53 million zloty. However, since 2015, when the ruling Law and Justice Party started the smear campaign against the orchestra, the Poles did exactly the opposite as the government had expected. They gave more money to the charity, much more money. In the 3 years since the government has tried to vilify the charity, it has managed to raise more than double the funds prior to the Law and Justice Party campaign, which just goes to show that you don't mess with the Poles. On January 13, 2019, tragedy struck during the 27 finale. At exactly the moment that fireworks announced the end of the finale and people started celebrating, a mentally disturbed man influenced by the government's rhetoric, ran onto the stage in Gdansk and struck the mayor of the city, Paweł Adamowicz, 3 times with a knife. Sadly, Paweł Adamowicz died that night. Mr. Adamowicz was remembered by tens of thousands of Poles, who gathered to the streets of Poland mourning the fallen president whilst listening to a reverbing echo flowing through the streets of Gdansk to an a cappella version of The Sound of Silence, performed by the heavy metal band Disturbed.
Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops fell, and echoed in the wells of silence.
The Poles came through again, proving that they are above the hatred that the government had installed on them. The final result for the donations to the charity in 2019 were a whopping 178 million zloty. That's almost 4 times as much as prior to the smear campaign started by the government, just 3 years earlier. If you didn't like this video, then you know what you shouldn't do. However, if by chance you did like the video, then give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and press that bell button, and we'll see you shortly with some more interesting, less than 5-minute stories.